I'm Scott Humphrey, CEO of the World Floor Covering Association, and this is Leadership Live. So if you watched last week, you know that I'm not a debate watcher. I don't really like the performance aspect of a debate. I want to know the real person, so I'll look at their record. But in hearing some reviews of last night's vice presidential debate, I heard that one of the key differences was the civility between the two. It brought me to the topic I want to discuss with you today: pausing. That's right, pausing. Now, as leaders, it's difficult for us because we feel like we always have to be doing. We're action, and people notice the action and they follow the action. But there are multiple reasons that you need to take time to pause. Let me give you a few. The first one is you need to take time to pause for your health. You need to take time to invest in your health, your long-term stability. Listen, if you're not around long, your leadership is severely limited. And so take time to take care of you. Find a way to stay physically fit. Secondly, pause to invest in yourself. You can only lead someone where you have been. And so it's important that you take time to read, to train, to study from others who have been there. Invest in you, because the more you know, the more you're able to do, the greater your ability to lead and to lead correctly. Finally, I would tell you to pause so you can understand. Covey said this as well as anybody when he said, seek first to understand, then to be understood. It hit home with me this week as I was in the dental hygienist getting my teeth cleaned. And I always find it funny that you've got all these contraptions in your mouth, but they want to talk to you. And I want to respond. It's my natural tendency is to respond to them. I found that in pausing, if the thing I needed to say was important, I remembered it when I had the opportunity to speak. If it wasn't important, I didn't. Maybe the most important thing you can do is not to always have the right answer. But you take the time to pause so that you can ask the right questions to better understand the situation before you act. Take time to pause. Now listen, is there a time for urgency? You bet there is. You can't always be sitting back waiting for life to come to you. I mean, little Johnny was going to the market one day. He had with him a very heavy load of potatoes with him on the wagon, and the wagon overturned. He hit a hole and it turned over sideways, and then he's just sitting out there by the wagon. He's going, oh, my pa's going to be so mad. My pa's going to be so mad. Well, a neighbor comes out, sees little Johnny, says, hey, Johnny, come on in and have a bite of dinner with us, and as soon as dinner's over, I'll come back out and help you get the wagon straightened up. We'll get everything back on there. He said, well, but my pa, and he said, listen, don't worry about that. Eat a bite, then we'll come out and get the wagon turned back over. He said, okay. So Johnny goes in and eats, and honestly, he feels better afterwards. He thanks his guest or his neighbor and says, listen, thank you so much. I do feel better, but my pa, and he says, oh, yeah, where is your pa? And he said, well, he's under the wagon. There is a time for urgency. There is a time to move forward, and there is a time to pause. So invest in your health. Pause to invest in your health. Invest in your intellect, in your knowledge. Pause to invest in your knowledge. And then pause to understand. And then you're equipped to go out there and lead.